Hey there, Tamir from Fibonacci-Traders.com, your daily market recap November 5th, 2023. Like, subscribe, and let's see what SPY and Friends brought us today. SPY, inside day, inside candle, indecision in the market. 454.30 still holding a support. All this area, the 456.60 and then 460 to the upside. All this area, very tough resistance. Long continuation above the 460. And then we can see 463 and 468. We can also take trend lines to show us the way where price might be heading next. Above 460, we will see 468. QQQ bounced off the 384.56. Now 388.76. All this area, resistance, support, resistance. Long continuation above the 388.80, and then we will see 394, and then 401, 410, and 420 to the upside. But one candle at a time, one day at a time. Look left, where price came from. Use Fibonacci and trend lines to help you, with the highest probability, understand where price might be heading next. Above 394, we can see 401, and then this area, the 410, but we have this gap at the 378, and in my opinion, this gap needs to get filled, and as soon as possible, before bulls will take control once again, bouncing up from this gap, once again, going towards 410. Will we see 410 before the end of 2023? 8% from this gap, not surprising. 8%. 8 is a Fibonacci number. 4 plus 0 plus 9, 13. It all comes down to Fibonacci. Dow Jones, second day in a row. Yesterday, inside day. Today, inside candle, inside doji. Price of Dow Jones is consolidating. Price is getting tighter and tighter. Zoom into the 65-minute chart, and then you can see where price came from and where it might be heading next. If you can take trend lines, you can clearly see some kind of a pullback, cool off, not a pullback, it's a cool off for the bulls of the Dow. Now all we need to do is wait for the bulls of the Dow breaking up above this channel towards the 365 on the daily. This is how it looks on the daily. Next we have IWM. One day we have 1.7% to the upside. Today we had 1.34 to the downside. 187 area. Very tough resistance. Not surprising resistance once again. Now the 182.40 needs to hold the support. Look left. Why 182.40? If you look left and try to identify where price came from, and then you can try to identify the next support and resistance, the major support and resistance area, you can clearly see that this area, the 182.40, was a very important area of support until it broke to the downside middle of September. Now broke to the upside last Friday. So by natural things of price action, this area, the 183 area, needs to hold as support. Long continuation above 187, and then 193 to the upside. And once again, of course, you can take trend lines to show you that as long as IWM is inside this uptrend green channel, the way is up. Bitcoin, for now, the day is only started 2.5 hours ago. Very bullish sentiment on Bitcoin. Next will be the 45 area, and then 48. Ethereum, also very strong. 22.90 now needs to hold the support. Next will be the 25.61. If you follow me on Twitter and you saw previous videos in the past few days or so, you know all these lines. You know all these Fibonacci's. This is why we always say Fibonacci is your best friend to identify next support and resistance area for future price action. And of course, you can take trend lines that will help you where price might be heading next. 26 with this yellow trend line is the next major resistance. Gold going back, retesting this yellow trend line. Let's see, can we get a bounce? Same as we got here. Can we get a bounce back up of the 2010, long above 2035, short continuation below this area towards the 1930. Crude oil still inside a very steep downtrend channel, short continuation towards the 68.60. KRE inside day, inside candle, same as the IWM. KRE bulls needs to get some rest, and they are resting today. Inside candle, indecision in the market. And if the market cannot decide, if we see an inside candle at the time frame that you are trading, we need to do nothing. Just wait and see where price and where market will take us next. Long continuation above 48.25. Then we will see 49.46, 46.70 needs to hold the support. We can take Fibonacci also from here. Now you have a much more accurate support, resistance for future price action. AAPL 2.11 to the upside after this rest, long rest, almost 2 weeks. AAPL was in a rest mode. So many consecutive dojis holding above the 188. Today came, broke up above. This is how it looks on the intraday. Look at the first candle of the 65 minutes. And then just resting on the Fibonacci level, the 192.90. Let's see now where AAPL is heading. Very strong bullish sentiment. We have a slight gap over here. The low of this candle is the 528. The high of this candle is 518. We have a slight gap over here, and it doesn't matter if the gap is big or small. More than 90% of all gaps will get filled, whether they are to the downside or to the upside. So once this gap will get filled, maybe even tomorrow with this bullish sentiment on AAPL, don't be surprised that price will take some pullback, retesting the 193 as support before the next leg up, before new all-time highs on AAPL. And remember, wherever AAPL goes, market follows. Tesla, you know these trend lines, you know this area, you know everything because you follow me on Twitter and you saw previous videos. Tesla, 3 weeks of a sideways move. 231 is holding as support, very important area of support. Breaking below it, this gap will get filled, and below this gap, we will see 211 and then 205 to the downside. This red zone, very tough resistance. Each and every time, as you can see, we drew this zone few days back, few weeks back already, and still Tesla bulls are having a very rough time. If Tesla bulls will give up, and eventually if they will continue to fail, they will give up, we will see the same price action we saw over here, we will see over here, and maybe the same price action we saw over here will continue to the downside back to the 180 area. All we need to do is sit and wait and let Mr. Market show us where price is heading, and ask ourselves what will happen if Tesla will break above this red zone, above the 253, where Tesla might be heading next. What will happen if Tesla will break below this area, the 231 area, where Mr. Market will take price then. This is all we need to do. AMD, inside candle, nothing much, but holding very strong the 117 area, very important. Let's see if bulls of AMD took a rest and they had enough. Long continuation above the 120.45 towards 124.80. Nvidia super bullish today. This is why we say broadening formation is the only true formation in price action from the upper border to the lower border. Bounce. Now let's see continuation, and we can also take Fibonacci swing low, swing high. This is our high, this is our low. Next resistance 470.60 and then 483.74. This area, the 450, needs to hold the support. Amazon 1.4 to the upside, but still failing to close above the 147.50. This area, very tough resistance. As you can see, if bulls will give up 1 or 2 more days, they will give up, and then we will see 140 to the downside. Google trying to hold the 618 Fibonacci retracement. We had an uptrend retracement. 618, the 128 area, is holding a support. It was a very important area of support through July and September. Now, once again, needs to hold the support. Next leg up above 132.74 and back to the 140. Shopify 3% to the upside. And here you have, if we clean the chart, what do we see on Shopify? No need to guess. Take Fib, take trend lines. What do you see? Broadening formation. Shopify needs to get out of this broadening formation, whether to the downside, and then we can take short towards the 62 area, filling this gap, long above this red line, and then where Shopify might be heading next, don't guess. Take Fibonacci, swing low, swing high, 78, 82, and then maybe 96. But as long as Shopify is between these two red lines in this area, it will be very, very dangerous to try and take short or long on Shopify. We need the broadening formation to get broader, and then we can take long or short. Meta, another day, another doji, holding the support area, long continuation above it, and then we will retest this area to the upside. Microsoft almost 1% to the upside, closed Friday's gap. Now we can take Fibonacci, where price of Microsoft might be heading next. 375.90 is the next resistance. Above it, retesting the new all-time highs. Netflix also trying with all its power to hold above the 448 from a very tough resistance. Now needs to hold the support. This is how it works. This is how support and resistance works. From resistance needs to act as support before the next leg up, filling this gap at the 464 and then 483 once again. Short continuation, retracement, pullback below the 448. Next major support will be the 427.40 to the downside. Follow price, use levels and trend lines as your guide for future price action. And it doesn't matter if you want to trade Forex, and it doesn't matter if you want to trade ETFs, futures, cryptos, stocks, on any time frame. It all comes down to understanding the in-depth relationship between price action, aka candlestick analysis, and multi-time frames, Fibonacci, and trend lines. Check the links in the description below for further information. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, like, subscribe, notification bell. We are going live every day, 8:30 Eastern Time. Until then, stay safe.